Hello, my name is Leroy Blevins. Welcome to Mysteries and Histories. In this episode here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about the experience that I had when I was in Dealey Plaza in Dallas, Texas, the location where JFK was shot. Now, everybody's out to say, they discovered this or they discovered that. Okay, but I'm talking about as a bystander now, not as a researcher, okay, but as a bystander as well. You know, I make my videos. I wear my head bandana. I got my black screen behind me and stuff like that. And I talk about my images that I've researched and stuff into JFK assassination. And I go over a step at a time, one step at a time. Okay. And, I'm trying to get out the truth into the JFK assassination. But when I was there, okay, when I was there, okay, on the outs parts, not in Dealey Plaza there. I mean, the people there in Dealey Plaza, the other people are very nice and stuff. But some of the people that does their storytelling there to make money. Now, every time I make a video and I point out that JFK assassination is a money-making industry, and I look at this as a flea market or a sideshow, people will make comments. So if you're making money off your books, I make 12 cents a copy, okay, on my books. Okay, I asked funding to make a documentary, true, but that's not coming in my pocket. That's going straight into the documentary, doing testing, buying supplies to do certain things and everything else. But when I was there and we got there about 8 o'clock in the morning, and we started doing something. We went over here and we started looking, at the bullet holes and stuff. A gentleman approaches me that does his tours, and he's sitting there. Well, let me tell you what happened that day. And he pulls out the paper, and I said, "No, I don't think so." I said, "I'm just here. I'm a researcher. I'm just here. I'm not here to interact with you guys or anything else or get in your way or anything, so you guys could do what you want to do, being polite, doing what you want to do and stuff. I'm just here to do what I have to do." And he says, "Well, what you doing?" And I said, "Well, I'm trying to put stuff together." He asked me a question, trying to put stuff together to make a documentary and stuff like that from the research I have done into this case. And he says, "Well, what happened in this case?" And all this stuff like that. And I said, "Well, just like right here, where the manhole cover is, there's 2 bullet holes." And I said, "They still can be seen here." Being polite. "Oh, them are not 2 bullet holes." This is what he's saying. "They're not 2 bullet. That one there is a bullet hole. That one there, there ain't no bullet hole there," and all this other stuff. Actually started getting more loud with me. And Ruben, I said, "Well, you know what? Calm down, calm down. You go, just do what you have to do and stuff. Like I said, I'm not here to bother you. You guys just do what you want to do." But it's like when I was filming or when I was getting an interview, he was coming around, voice getting loud, and everything else, trying to tell me I'm wrong about this, I'm wrong about that. Show me this newspaper or this book and stuff like that. I'm wrong about this and I'm wrong about that. Which he don't even know why I'm wrong about, because he wouldn't even give me the time of day or even trying to explain to him. I even brought my laptop out trying to show him. "Let me show you something." I said, "Here's the 2 gentlemen inside the married Mormon photo." He walks back. I don't see nothing. I mean, he walks back about 10 or 15 feet away from the computer. "I don't see nothing." I don't, waving his hands around. "I don't see nothing," and everything else. And a couple times got in my face. And I said, "Excuse me." I said, "I'm not here to argue. If you don't listen to me, if you want to let me have a word, otherwise then," I said, "we'll just drop it now. You go on your way, I'll go on my way. I got things to do. I ain't got time to sit here. It's not, JFK assassination is not nothing to argue over. It's not. This is a murder case. We're trying to solve this murder case." "Oh, it's already solved," and all this other stuff. And he's just telling me, just keep on getting louder and louder. And I said, "Okay, that's fine." I said, "Just walk away, seriously." And then when I was doing my filming, trying to get an interview, and he comes over, and then he starts saying, "Well, here, right here is where James Files is standing." He was standing right here behind a picket fence. He took that shot and stuff like that at JFK. And I said, well, how did he leave? You want to sit there and tell me your story? Then I said, here's a question. You said James Files there. How did he leave? Well, James Files, what he did, he jumped over this fence after he got done taking a shot. And see right here, there's a storm drain where people claim that the fatal headshot came from. He said, James Files exit in this manhole cover. So I'm sitting there looking at him. I said, wait a minute. You're telling me James Files is right behind this picket fence, and he exit down there, which we're up here now. If you watch my cursor, we're up here behind the picket fence. And I said, you're telling me that James Files took his shot here, but he exit down here in this manhole cover. Yeah, that's where he exited, because there's a hole big enough. Look in this paper right here. You could take somebody crawl down through there. And I was like, well, can you answer this question for me, please? How did he get from behind the picket fence down in this sewer here? Because you would have to lift off the lid, get down inside there, and put the lid back on when there's cops and everything else right here. So how did he get away with his rifle and stuff? Oh, you don't understand what I'm talking about. You don't understand what I'm talking about. He was right behind here. He shot, and he just kept on saying the same thing over and over again. He didn't have the answer. He did not have the answer. And it was just getting more and more rude with me. That's the reason why I said when I went down here, I didn't want to interact with none of them. I didn't want to interact with none of them, okay? I wanted to be on, I've, been polite. And I have witnesses there as well. I've been polite and say, hey, go ahead. Do what you tell your story. Tell your story to people. I don't care. But he was taunting me basically the rest of the day. And I was getting sick to my stomach because I'm sitting there watching 10 or 15 guys going around selling their magazines and stuff. As I was walking past, two old ladies was sitting there, two elderly women sitting there. And after the guy told the story, he gave them each one of them books. He says, well, it's $20 for the books and $30 for my story I just told you, so you owe me $50 a piece. And one of the old ladies sitting there saying, well, I didn't have no money on me. I didn't know all this is going to cost me this much. And he says, well, she says, oh, I got his credit card, so I could take one of them too. And he swipes it. And I'm like, whoa. It's like they're forcing the story on people. They're forcing the books because they always coming up to me. And this is from my opinion, my experience of being there. They're forcing this book on me. They're forcing the papers on me. They're forcing their stories on me. And they're telling these people this. And then when they're done, they're saying, hey, you owe me $50. And they do. They get paid the money. Then I sit there and you hear them outside saying, don't listen to any of the stories you hear in that Texas School Book Depository Museum. You listen to that stuff there, that's all lies. They're just going to tell you all lies. This is what they tell us, the public, on the outside there. When we go inside the building, when I talked to a couple of the people there that worked in there, they said don't listen to the guys outside because they're telling a bunch of lies. Okay, it's like a tit for tat. Someone made a comment earlier on one video saying that, Texas School Book Depository Museum, the 6th Museum, makes more money than all of them. No, I beg to differ on that one. And the reason why I beg to differ on that one is because the guy that was getting in my face and the guy that was sitting there taunting me the whole time I was there, that night when he was leaving, he drives by me in a $60,000 car, a $60,000 convertible. And my son, he knows all about vehicles and stuff. And he says, well, I think that was more than that. Close to $60,000, but it was convertible stuff. If you had extra stuff on there, it might be up to $80,000, Dad. And I said, okay. But he drives by me and says, hey, researcher, because he kept on calling me researcher. Okay, now you tell me, his job is just telling his story right here in Dealey Plaza. And he can afford a $60,000 car. So you're saying that these people here does not make no money? I was sitting there, and like I said, I tell people the truth. And I sit there and I sit back and I watch things and I see things. I know one person made $400 off of one person. I'm not going to say the person's name, okay? They're there to tell their story, but they sold them some merchandise and stuff. Made 400 bucks off of one lady. Excuse me. I don't care if people wants to tell a story. I don't care if people makes donations to them. Okay. But they was demanding the money. They was pushing the books in people's faces. They was pushing the papers in people's faces. And it made me sick to my stomach because I'm sitting there thinking to myself, I'm a researcher and an investigator. I'm trying to solve a murder case. A murder case. The president of the United States was shot and killed there because, when you look at it in a film or you look at an image, you're like, okay, but it's a different experience when you're there, when you're actually sitting there and you're in that location where JFK was murdered. Okay, murdered. And you go to a location where Oswald was murdered. Okay, it gives you that feeling that's like, wait a minute, whoa, it's not about, this is a murder case. And I'm sitting there looking at this sideshow of everybody making millions and millions of dollars a year off of a murder case because he was JFK. Because he was JFK, the President of the United States, that was the window of opportunity. I admit, I sell books, and I'm making a documentary, DVD. All right, I make 12 cents a copy off my book. I admit, Robert Grow makes $100 a copy off of a book. I make 12 cents. He makes $100. And somebody told me, they came up and told me when I was walking around that, I heard her talk to her husband and says, yeah, I just bought this book off of him, paid $100 for it. He signed it. And I think she said she had to pay. Now, I'm not going to say she did or didn't. Okay, that's a hearsay. But I'm hearing this woman says she had to pay for the autograph. I gave people my autograph free. I didn't care. Okay. But it just, it sickens me. And I actually literally got ill because even when I went back to the room and stuff, and I'm looking out that window right here at Dealey Plaza, and first thing Saturday morning when I got up, I'm seeing that guy that called me researcher pulling up in a $60,000 car, getting out, setting up, getting ready, putting his little apron on with his little newspapers and stuff in there. And it's like a murder case. And to them, it's not a murder case. It's a joke. It's a money-making industry. To me, I publish my videos for free. People view them for free. I give out a lot of my information for free. Yes, I have a book. I get 12 cents a copy. I get 12 cents a copy off of a book. Okay. And seeing this stuff firsthand. Now, for their book, they get 20 bucks, and it's a thinner book with a few little pages in there and just the stories that's told, and all they're doing is telling the story. They're getting $30 for telling their story. A 5-minute story, they get 30 bucks. $30. I got a book for $59.99 or $59.95, I think it's on Amazon, which gives you the story, which gives you the evidence, which gives you more than you will ever find in any other book. I get 12 cents, 12 cents a copy. But I'm not mad over it. I'm not mad over it. What I'm mad about is people making money off of a murder case. Okay? What about the family that was involved in there? Now, in this stuff, what about all the heartaches and everything else that the Oswalds went through? I'm talking about Robert Oswald, and Oswald's sister, and his daughters, Oswald's daughters, Lee Harvey Oswald's daughter, his wife. Okay, what about them? What about their suffering and their pain and stuff that they lost a father? What about the Kennedys? Okay, Robert Kennedy, Ted Kennedy, Jackie Onassis Kennedy, you know, JFK Jr., and JFK's daughters. and stuff like that. What about them? Hmm? Does anybody ever think about that? What about them? No, they look at it as JFK was shot right here, and this is time for me to make some money. I literally got sick to my stomach. I threw up like 2 times that night, and I threw up the next morning when I was, opening up the blinds and stuff and start looking out and seeing them pulled up, and everybody started coming in there, and tour buses, and the sixth floor museum there, and then all them guys out there on the street corner selling their papers and their books and their stories and stuff like that. And I'm sitting there watching kids come in there, other people coming there, and I didn't talk to. I talked to a couple people, maybe that's about it. But I didn't, I didn't interact with nobody or anything like that in there because I was there to do my job, like I said I was going to do. And I'm listening to the stories that these people are being told, people from overseas, little children. Okay, they're reading their history books one story, and then they're coming there and they're going to hear a different story. They're going to get confused about it, and then when the truth does reveal, they're going to say, now who's telling the truth? Just think about that for a minute. If the government opened up all them files and said, here's the truth, here's who's behind it, here's all the evidence and everything else like that, they're going to say, no, wait a minute. The history book said this, which came from the same people that said this is what really happened, even if they said there was other gunmen there and stuff. But then the people that gave us a tour down there, they said it was this person and everything else. So we're still not resolving nothing. You see what I'm saying? We're not resolving nothing. That's why when I first was putting this idea together on the JFK assassination, do a documentary, I wanted to close down Dealey Plaza. I wanted to go do a thorough investigation with people in positions and everything else like that. JFK's limo, a duplicate of it in that location where each one of the shots occurred. Okay, and everything else, pinpoint exactly everything to get the case solved. The case solved. That's all I've been trying to do all this time. I even tried to make it cheaper, but I was literally sick to my stomach. And that's why I knew before I went down there I was going to get harassed by some people, and I did. When I first got there. After I first got there and I told him leaving and stuff, they didn't harass me as much. He just went by every time he's walked by or something. He'll say, "Hey, researcher." That's it. But that morning, it was like, whew. You know, when I first just got there, it was really bad. But like I said, you know, I look at it and it's like this one zone here, this one zone right here, this one zone. There's people standing all over here, up through here, over here. Got the booth set up, selling their stories, making money, $50 a person. I mean, there's this one person who was talking to, I think there was like 12 people around him at one time, and you figure $50 a pop for 10 of them, that's $500. You got $600 right there for about 10 minutes of talking. 10 minutes of talking. That's $600 he made in 10 to 15 minutes. I'll give him even a 15-minute window. $600. I've seen everybody giving him money. $600. Think about that one. Do you make $600 for 15 minutes worth of work? When I was working in construction, I didn't make that type of money. $600 in 15 minutes. So if you do that, say if you do that on the average, if you had 12 people in a half an hour, that's $1,200 you made in a half an hour. You double that in an hour, so you have $2,400 right there alone within 1 hour. $2,400. Think about that one for a moment, and they can say all they want. I've seen it firsthand. People say this and say that. I've seen it firsthand. That's what made me sick. Because these people don't know JFK. They don't know their families. They don't know the Oswald's family. They said they might talk to this person, that person. I'm not talking about eyewitnesses. I'm talking about the family members. JFK was shot and killed right here. Shot and killed right here. His head exploded in front of his wife's face. A lot of women don't have no trauma like that. She had pure trauma. Her husband's head exploded open right in front of her face. Seeing him being shot, seeing him being killed right in front of her face. Does anybody care? No, hey man, it's time to make me some money. I'm on that gravy train now. And people wonders why I get so emotional in it, because like when I do research, if you don't have the passion, you don't have the strive, you don't have that goal, you're not going to accomplish nothing. If you're going to tell a story, do some research. See if that story is true. Show me some evidence. Okay, don't show me what this person said and that person said. Don't show me this image or that image. Do you know when that image was taken? Do you know who took that image? Can you tell me when was this image taken? Whose hands this image was? Is this the first hand generation, second hand generation, third hand generation? They don't have none of that information. My research, I have all that information because these things I have to look out for. Like I said, I was treated very nice in Dallas. You know, when we was up the street here, over at the hotel, very nice people and everything else. But here is one location, and I told my sons this. I go back there, if I ever go back there, I really don't want to go back there. If I have to go back there, I'll go back there. But I'd love to go to Dallas again, but I wouldn't step foot in Dealey Plaza. If I didn't have to be there, if no one didn't ask me to go there, hey, could I film something there or whatever, I would do it. But I guarantee you, if it wasn't for that, I would never step foot in Dealey Plaza no more, because it turns my stomach. It physically makes me ill, because I'm seeing a murder case and I'm watching people with smiles on their faces, selling their stories, making money, tons and tons of money. People can say all they want that the Texas School Book Depositories make money. Yeah, they're making money as well. I'm not going to lie about that. They're making tons of money too, because I've seen people, rows and rows of them. Okay, seen rows and rows of them. But the people on the outside are making money too. I mean, one lady, one person I was talking about, $400 off of one person. Make $400 off of one person for 5 minutes worth of work, just sitting there talking just for 5 minutes. $400. 1, 2, 3. Seriously, where I'm sitting here making 12 cents a book. I don't care. It's not about the money to me. It's about the evidence. It's about the research. It's about finding the truth, presenting the truth. Get the case closed. That's what it's about. Because they really didn't want me there. Once they found out who I was, they didn't want me there. Because they don't want me to expose a lot of them. They don't want me to tell the truth. They want me to not even be there at all. But that's the way it is. That's the way it is. I'm there. I was there. But I just want to tell people why, you know, I would, I don't know. I get emotional when it comes to something like that. When it's a murder case. A murder case. It keeps on going through my mind. A murder case. A murder case. Well, that's it. Don't forget that like button. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to tell your friends about us. Share this information. Well, if you don't want to share this information, but my other information, JFK assassination and stuff like that, with your family, friends, and relatives, that's fine. I appreciate it, and I appreciate everybody gave us sponsors. I've been getting on a GoFundMe account and stuff like that for the documentary. Like I said, all that money is for the documentary. It's not to put in my pocket or nothing like that. Yeah, I put my book description down, always in the description down below, because people need to know the truth. I only make 12 cents a copy off the book. If you don't want to buy it, you don't have to buy it. I'm not forcing it on you. I was forced to buy their stuff, but I didn't want to. I told them, this, never mind, never mind. But in the description down below, you'll find so if you want to order my book. It's on paperback or Kindle. You can even save more money by ordering on Kindle. if you have Kindle. If you want to make a $30 donation of stuff, you get a free copy of the DVD when it's done. Okay, for $30 or more, you get a free copy of the DVD, which I made a video on. I mean, I got a lot of evidence, a lot of things that no one's never even seen before. You're going to see things that no one's never seen before or ever done when it comes to the JFK assassination. You're going to find out in this DVD. I guarantee you that. But don't forget that like button. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to tell your friends about us. Thank you. You all have a pleasant day. And thanks to the people in Dallas, for treating me really nice and respectful. It was very nice. I really do appreciate it. Even if people was rude to me, thank you as well. Have a pleasant day.